find out one to the money and one to the expenditure so that the Auditor General could get the report. Now that the mess hit the fan, we hear that some things going on. There was a report that came in out of one of the news media recently. I think it was Nationwide News, who had some things to say. Let me see if I can find the clip for Nationwide News, so you know, and so we can play it and you just hear exactly. Those of you who never heard the news, fine. You'll be able to hear what they said on that news report from Nationwide News. Can we play that clip for you? We're trying to find the clip. As soon as we're able to find that clip, get it together, we'll be able to play it for you. But that's what happened Nationwide News report, because this was coming out of Parliament. The Public Accounts Committee is a creature of Parliament. It is a part of the financial regulatory body of government and how public money is spent and how it is accounted for. The committee, which is chaired by the opposition, have all the people who spend government money, the permanent secretary, the director generals, the registrars, and people are responsible, and accountant generals. Those persons who have responsibility for spending the public money have a responsibility to appear before the committee and to give account for the money that them spend, so that the rest of us, taxpayers, can be satisfied that no hanky-panky not take place and carry on. Now, this particular issue surrounds the Ministry of Health. Now, I don't want to look like I am beating a dead horse or beating a horse that is lame, but I find it a little bit peculiar and a little bit troubling that over the last couple of years, consistently, there have been a whole lot of irregularities that have been reported, whether through the Auditor General or through some various sources, as it relates to what kind of fish that smell bad and getting stink within the context of confines of the operation of the Ministry of Health. And the Ministry of Health have a very honorable minister who I know take a oath in a parliament to administer the affairs of the country and the people of the section of St. Catherine where come from and the rest of Jamaica with a certain amount of honesty, dignity, credibility, and sense. Not just common sense, but common sense. And he is a man who have a trained mind. But whether it's at the hospital in Kingston, the public hospital, and what is happening or not happening there, or is accounted for or not accounted for, or is missing, and is still being searched for, and after it appear in the press, after a time it look like a 9-day wonder, and it gone, and nobody no hear no more report on it. But that thank God that minister, because I feel him portfolio, I am responsible for it, and I him the buck stops with. I'm saying we find the ticket, we find the report. All right, let me go. Say we're going to go back to that report for you, play the report for you, and then we'll continue after this. The report from Nationwide. We say we can run that Nationwide report for you. Some volume, please.
Redevelopment followed a report from the Auditor General's Department, which found that the misrepresentation breached the Customs Act. This then resulted in more than $20 million in unpaid import duties and an estimated $23 million in lost tax revenue to the government. Acting Chief Executive Officer of the UHWI, Eric Wilson, says the hospital will take its punishment.
Customs has made it very clear to us that they have nothing to do with those companies. We are the ones, the hospital is the one who they are holding accountable to pay all the charges and fines. As to where we will get the money from, it is the hospital name that is on the implication documents, and therefore they are holding the importer as being accountable. They have stated just on Friday that the amount of duty that should have been paid is approximately $10 million, but there is also penalties, and the penalties range from 500,000 at a minimum to 3 times the CI value, and the CI value is approximately 50 million. So it would be like 120 plus 10, which is about 130 million would be the maximum that would be charged those.
Wilson named the 4 companies found to have improperly used the institution's tax-exempt status to avoid customs duties in laundry services, women's sales, scientific medical services, and Jackton Limited. He notes that Jamaica Customs Agency has already completed its investigation into Jackton Limited, while probes involving the other companies are ongoing. According to the Auditor General's findings, customs records showed that items including office furniture, laundry, and medical equipment were declared as imports for the hospital. However, inventory checks confirmed that the items were not acquired by UHWI, but instead by private entities. Hussein was unable to indicate how long the practice had been taking place or explain why the hospital facilitated the use of its tax-exempt status for the companies.
Mr. Chairman, I was not there, as you know, spoken to different team members. They are not aware as to why, and therefore I am unable to say the reason why it was done. At least one case, they had no record. In others, as the auditor has highlighted, that the hospital paid for like a broker fee and other fees, but in one in particular, nothing was paid for, and it didn't go through any process at all. So there's no record really of it, and it's not our goods. Based on the customs declaration, the goods did not belong to the hospital and were not a part of the hospital asset.
And that's Eric Holstein, not Hussein, Eric Holstein, acting CEO of the UHWI. He was speaking during Tuesday's sitting of Parliament's Public Accounts Committee. Please.
What can go so? What in the within the if you have a little picnic at your yard and them a play dolly house, and one of them supposed to get a certain amount of things and the other one supposed to get it and the other one not account for it. Them a go, if you don't care for fight broke. Because them say a 6 we supposed to have or a 9 we should have. Or you're not supposed to carry this over there. So if they're playing a game where you're supposed to have certain rules with the game, they stick out so that listener, no, you're not supposed to come at this point. You have to wait until after this. How can Mr. Eric and the rest of the intelligent, bright people with a whole alphabet behind them name at the University of Jamaica, the premier institution of education in the Caribbean, tell this nation and tell the rest of the world that them allow them staff exemption status to be handled and managed by an outsider. And them give you a pretty argument as if to say, well, I mean, it's almost a technical and an administrative failure. Crap! Something not go on there, sir. Something are going in or something. Them take the rest of us for fools. It smells stink. Him and all of the people them inside there, so including the company where I have the $10 million, and whether or not the man who own the company are PNP labor right is neither here nor there. If somebody must catch trouble, they must catch trouble. If somebody must wear short pants, they must wear short pants. Because how can the Prime Minister come to the nation and say that crime and violence is preventing tourists from coming to Jamaica? And we have to therefore catch the criminals. And we have to nip it in the bud that we are criminals of a university, allegedly. And we have irresponsible people in the parliament. And nobody now come feet and nobody no pay no price, nothing happen. And they just go on so. Then they left them and they make them scam then. And left the other people and make them do them business because they're not going to work. Some of them. And that is the only way them are going to find their money. I'm not preaching criminality. I'm not preaching dishonesty, but some things have got, it must not appear to be done. It must be done. Also appear to be done. And if it is not being handled properly and managed properly, then we're going to have a sore. It is going to become a recurring decimal. It's going to be something that is going around and we're going to get drowned in it like quicksand. We're going to a break. When we come back, the discussion continue. This is Tenny Miller Live. Mr. Barnes, good afternoon. How are you, sir? That's right.
Through the systematic land registration process, the NLA will assist residents to get titles in declared project areas across Jamaica. Systematic land registration is the methodical and orderly registration of parcels of land in a designated area known as systematic adjudication area. For further information on the systematic land registration process, including declared systematic adjudication areas, who can apply and the benefits, visit the National Land Agency's website at www.nla.gov.jm or email asknla@nla.gov.jm. The National Land Agency, one agency, one goal.
Are you living on or in possession of family land? Do you want to sell or subdivide the property? Use eLand Jamaica to search for details on the property. You can complete a title search and verify the owner before you sell the property. If your name does not appear on the title, register the land or clarify the existing title in your name before you sell. A title is a notice to the world of your ownership of land. For more information, contact the National Land Agency at 876-750-5263 or 876-946-5263. The National Land Agency, one goal to serve you better. Are you confident that you are the legal owner of your property? Take action to secure your property ownership. Get a registered certificate of title and become the legal owner of your property. To register your property and obtain a certificate of title, you will need to provide a tax registration number (TRN), a valid government issued identification, a survey diagram, documentation to prove ownership, up-to-date property tax certificate, the names, addresses, and occupations of 2 neighbors over the age of 50 who are not family members and can give a declaration on your behalf. Proof that you have been in open, undisturbed, and undisputed possession of the property for 12 years or more. For further information on registering your property and obtaining a certificate of title, contact the National Land Agency at 876-750-5263 or 876-946-5263. Email asknla@nla.gov.jm or message us at WhatsApp at 876-418-5089. The National Land Agency, one goal to serve you better.
And need a title? Well, the National Land Agency NLA can help. Through the systematic land registration process, the NLA will assist residents to get titles in declared project areas across Jamaica. Systematic land registration is the methodical and orderly registration of parcels of land in a designated area known as systematic adjudication area. For further information on the systematic land registration process, including declared systematic adjudication areas, who can apply and the benefits, visit the National Land Agency's website at www.nla.gov.jm or email asknla@nla.gov.jm. The National Land Agency, one agency, one goal.
Are you living on or in possession of family land? Do you want to sell or subdivide the property? Use eLand Jamaica to search for details on the property. You can complete a title search and verify the owner before you sell the property. If your name does not appear on the title, register the land or clarify the existing title in your name before you sell. A title is a notice to the world of your ownership of land. For more information, contact the National Land Agency at 876-750-5263 or 876-946-5263. The National Land Agency, one goal to serve you better. Are you confident that you are the legal owner of your property? Take action to secure your property ownership. Get a registered certificate of title and become the legal owner of your property. To register your property and obtain a certificate of title, you will need to provide a tax registration number (TRN), a valid government issued identification, a survey diagram, documentation to prove ownership, up-to-date property tax certificate, the names, addresses, and occupations of 2 neighbors over the age of 50 who are not family members and can give a declaration on your behalf. Proof that you have been in open, undisturbed, and undisputed possession of the property for 12 years or more. For further information on registering your property and obtaining a certificate of title, contact the National Land Agency at 876-750-5263 or 876-946-5263. Email asknla@nla.gov.jm or message us at WhatsApp at 876-418-5089. The National Land Agency, one goal to serve you better.
Do you own land and need a title? Well, the National Land Agency NLA can help. Through the systematic land registration process, the NLA will assist residents to get titles in declared project areas across Jamaica. Systematic land registration is the methodical and orderly.
Welcome back. The program is Tenny Miller Live. We're coming to you from the studios of Flex FM Television here in South Florida. Before we went to the break, we had listened to a clip from Nationwide News, and it's a part of their online broadcast, and they carried the alarming news out of the PAAC committee that Mr. Eric Holson, if I'm not pronouncing his name right, forgive me, Olisin, was saying to the committee and was admitting the level and the magnitude of the irresponsibility and the irresponsible actions taking place at the university. This must not be allowed to pass like a shadow in the dark. It must not be allowed to go without deep, thorough, and forensic investigation. And people must be brought to answer questions. It cannot be that the university, the late Motti Perkins usually have a phrase to refer to the university, and a lot of us was offended by that. How dare he, and why should he? And he consistently said it because, and therefore, then this would not want to feel that him really had some reason because he know a lot of stuff that we never know. A lot more stuff that we never know. And there are several companies, a laundry company, and then Mr. Jack, whatever his name is, company, responsible for all of these. How can you be taking away the revenue from the government, and the university need money? Right now, the university have a lot of stuff over there to be done. And them are going to tell you, say them they have the money to do it. And them allow somebody from outside who's supposed to be procuring things. That person should have been buying the things them on the open market at a cheap price and say, you budgeted $35,000, $35 million for this, but we were able to get it for you for 27 or 20 million or 30 million. So therefore, we're saving you 5 million. And that's what then shows him always have the contract with it because him can find the best price in the open market to come so that the university can benefit from that. It is irresponsible. It is irresponsible. It is border being criminally negligent. You're going to tell me that the person using your tax exempt status to import goods where they must sell you back and maybe other places. So the thing come in for $20 and them get they not able to pay the tax which would occur to a certain amount on it. And before that credited to you, them take it and $23.5 million, them have problems with over there. I hear now that one man who is also a member of the PNP, who it is alleged, who benefit from part of the $10 million kickback with the revenue misappropriation, the whole revenue shenanigans, should say. He has given assurance to the PAAC chairman, Mr. Julian Robinson, and some other persons that, well, his money, he paid back $10 million recently, and we don't know how much more, only about $10 million. How much did we get the last time we import something? And the time before that? We need to investigate and find out what is the size of his contract and how long he has had that contract. And the laundry company who have the job to wash the clothes and the sheet and the bedspread and something, how long them have that contract? What are the equipments that they have, the equipment that they have imported into the country with this tax exempt status, and how them account for it and what them sell this stuff for. And whenever any one of them involved in the $3 million to $30 million drill, you see how these people wicked and corrupt and dirty and stay bad? And whenever they know, everybody point finger upon, are you a thief? I don't want a motive. And I want a motive. Then PNP have had corruption over time. Yes, they have had it. And some has been exposed and some might not have been exposed. But Lord, man, this level of corruption we see over the last couple of years make PNP look like them is at Dali House in a play. Just with the Ministry of Health alone, make it look like a Dali House, the PNP, them in a play with them for them alleged corruption. Because of what we have been hearing over the last couple of years with the government, in particular, this Ministry of Health here. Because we them not about Cornwall Regional, you know. Me no want to go there, so. Because Cornwall Regional, me go there one morning at like about 4:35 o'clock one morning, my grandson go there. And after me go inside there and sit down and my stomach sick. Me have to carry back in yard and go boil some ginger tea and give him. And say, come me son, me rub the belly with a kerosene oil. And had my hand over one lamp and rub the belly with kerosene oil. Rather than stay at the hospital. That's how bad it is. And it's only what? 8 or 12, what? $20 billion we spend on Cornwall Regional alone. Just that. Only $20 billion. Chump change. You can figure out where some of that money gone. Who benefit from some of that money? You feel like we put a microscope on all of the bills and receipts and the contracts and the subcontracts. The contracts and the subcontracts which have been signed over time and for what they were signed for. And the equipment which were to have come in for the theater and for the MRI and the RRI and the PQI department and wherever. Come yet? All of them come. What price were they acquired at? Were they installed? Who get the installation contract? Who for contract run over estimated amount? How many such subcontractors contract run over the amount that you have to meet? Because it is always, it is a moving, what you call it now, a shifting reef. The expenditure and the money from $8 billion to nearly 18 or more billion dollars and the same place. No, what a go on. Somebody tell me what a go on. Honest to goodness, we want to know what a go on. Young people are thief out the road, you know. and you see how much beryllium ATM machine get move out, and them officers and them staff decide to run with some of the money and jump on plane, and them catch one of them a foreign and them catch my other place. But when these people, and I'm not justifying, but how can we in our conscience stand up to the nation and talk about corruption, criminality, dishonesty? Some of the people them who we entrust with the legal administration of the people's business, who supposed to swear and they sign oath. Some of them are people who go to church, them are deacon, them are child Bible leaf, No for them are nyam Bible leaf, because them pure and lily white and much more honest than Jacob and Moses. Yes. But check the bank account. Check the car where them are drive. Check which part them buy house, land, and things. Check how much other business them have and them involved in. Call me bad man if you want to call me. Me not bad man nobody, because at my age, me not build more monument. My monument to me I build is in the minds and hearts of young people and the Jamaican people. Me not build nothing, so nobody can accuse me of nothing. Me not talk about like a petty something. Me not talk about a man get a blind over there so and one road a work and him get an extra day upon a work and that sort of thing. Because there's always them kind of runnings there going. And all of the party them do it. And a man paddle and put on 2 more in it. I'm not saying it is right. I am not saying it is right. But them they are dolly house. Them they are like you play popular, or you play jacks in comparison to them your thief what we have here. Them your people what we have here. How can we in all conscience speak to the nation about those things? The thing with the Governor General I preach no make no sense to nobody. And when Mr. Patterson they come up with values and attitudes, I think, and when him in a talk about values and attitudes and hope said the nation would take that, everybody they just laugh after him. Look at now where we are going with. And I hope the PAAC committee find every single area of what happened at the university and expose it. I hope they are still on the Cornwall Regional Hospital, find out what is happening and is not happening over there and expose it, because they are answerable to the Jamaican people. And part of the only thing is that you're not sure you have enough of them inside on both sides who will really stand up and face the slings and arrows and say enough is enough, irrespective of who wants vex one side or the other. But we have to put a stoppage to this. We have to change these things. This cannot no longer be allowed to go on. We have to tap, we have to catch, we have to draw breaks. And allow some decency to prevail. Allow some honesty and some integrity to prevail. I don't think the Prime Minister necessarily not have integrity, I don't want to think so. And I think he genuinely means well with a lot of the things that he says and he wants to implement. And I have no doubt a lot of those members of parliament on both sides, honestly and deep down in them heart, wants to do well and want to do good. And whether the new or whole, especially the new one, them come, because them are virgin and them just freshly minted, them come with the fervor and the energy to go there and they want to take the country by storm and they want to do this, whether them are labor right or them are PNP. And that's okay. And we want them to go there, so. And them have to go there with the decency and the honesty and show the nation, say, listen, boy, we want to make a difference and we are new and different. But we cannot allow ourselves and they cannot allow themselves to be hijacked by some of those whose all their intention and pursuit is to fatten themselves and them pocket and them friend and them combolo pocket. And when some of them might have things span, some of them other one in the inside there. And if one said, "Why you know you can't do something?" So we are going, man, after here no grow the yarn, man. Remember this so and so and so and so and so and so. And they mean just stand so back and they make it go on. We are one of the most developed nations in the world, you know, on paper. On paper. And with announcements and pronouncements. Jamaica. Oh, God, yes. Singapore, sure. Singapore no nothing. We have development, we have plans on paper, in announcements, and wishes, and woods, and possibility. Who are carried, who are make it happen? Who are the people that you can really honestly put your heart and your trust into, say, well, these people are going to be carrying this. These are the people who are setting the example so that those to come, and those at university and those at high school and colleges, will be able to say, boy, I just waiting to get out there because I want to make my contribution to building Jamaica. I want to make my contribution to building the nation. I want us to be that real first world, first class country where everybody have a respect, irrespective of our size. Nobody enough a fly come there in a plane and come tell me, say, what, you know, you can't do this and you can't do that. I stop talk to them people there. I stop take this and them people there. Because one ever tell them, say, listen, take them go on to your yard. Tell them if you take them go on to your yard. Why? Because we are putting ourselves in a position where we are going to be self-sufficient. So if them decide, say, what, you know, you know, go give you 3 Backla Highland, but seeing that you are going to face it, you might only get 1. You say, all right. And we have the capacity and the ability because we have set the example and we train the minds of our people and our students and our young people to say, listen, we are a nation of people with pride and dignity. We can know how to be self-sufficient. We know how to work hard. But why? If everybody go and get rich quick and everybody go on for you know, work up in a key and shake it because they have something park out the road and them have this and them own the apartment, they are them this and thing, and some of them now left further than high school. And some of them top walk out of school because they are doing thing. And you see, corruption is not just in one area, you know. It is across the board. But the example that we set and how we grow with Picnic and how we move within the framework of society, you know, set example and commit yourself to carry out those tasks and those things which are honest, clean, righteous, and just. I'm not saying you're going to be a patron saint. All of us are sinful and have sinned and fall short of the glory. But my God, man, don't make it look so bad. Don't make it look so bad. Jamaica problem is really mismanagement and corruption, you know. By a large extent, it is. We don't have to have so much suffering on the streets and so much mad people walk up and down and know where they might go, because a lot of mad people, you know, dress up every day and go on a bus and drive and down on the bus because they don't know where they're going now. And you think them sane? People dress up and them children go in a store and I put clothes, things in them bosom, under them clothes. I have saw like a 14-year-old picnic look like say them a breed. When you go down and shop them belly flat and when them out and shop them a breed. All of a sudden the belly gone up. Thief them a thief. And with them a thief because of style? Or them a thief because they want thief? Or whatever. But it happens. It happens. And it is happening. How are we going to deal with it? How are we going to address it? The teachers can't address it in schools alone. The parents have to address it at home. But the parents will tell you, say, what you know? I don't have no money if you send him go to school, so I tell you, say, must go on and see if he can find something to eat. Because him and his friend then will work it out. husband can't find on the road to go to school. And because he might want to go to school, and he might want to, to be counted among them that are there, I'm going to go try and find a way to church something and to find him way to, find something. So I'm going to China man shop and him take out this. I'm going to the fridge and him take out the drink and him start to drink it. And he walk around the shelf, about the aisles about 4 times and put on the buckle and finish the Shirley biscuit over there. So, and he finish a ginger biscuit there. So, and he eat up a bun there and put the other piece of bun in his pocket and thing and come on and he go walk out the door. And he start to look at them, say anything to him. Say, boy, I'm going to see what I want. I'm going to go have lunch and then gone. It happens. And when that same person stand up beside the TV, beside a radio, or I watch TV and hear that the ministry of this, or the minister of that, or the director of this, or the thing is involved, or cannot account for, or cannot give answer to, or cannot, is not seem to exercise the kind of sense of responsibility. Driving fear in a man is not just about holding a gun, and threatening to send him to prison, Be afraid of the fact that he's going to do something and he knows that is wrong. Because in the society, it come from everybody else and most of the people in the society is showing that the right thing to do is this or that, and they're going in the right way. So I'm saying, boy, I don't want to be the odd one out. And people get influenced by the environment, and by the example which is set by those who are much older than them, and those who are perceived to be leaders. And people say, boy, I want to be like Mr. So-and-so or Miss So-and-so, or that kind of person. I don't know. We live in a world of, not just possibilities, but some serious, unfortunate things that are happening. And all of us, it's a collective responsibility. It's not just to cut down the politician or cut down the director or to talk about that, because it is across the society. The policeman stop you and him say, you realize that you are going 80 and it is a 50-mile zone. Boy, officer, I'm really sorry, I had we try to catch my grandson at school and him is a small child, so I was trying to enter and I never realized I passed over the speed limit. He said, boy, Is your problem that, man? They broke the law. How much shape you pan this a road, Yeah. I want $5,000 ticket, I want $10,000 ticket, this and so, You decide what you can do for yourself. And him take time and walk and wait for you for answer. Because him say, decide what you're going to do for yourself. So if you can take out your driver's license and your paperwork, and I want $5,000, I want $3,000, underneath it, and then you hand it to him, so his hand can touch the money. And if as long as the other one them not see him, or him only him key man over there, so and him walk away and him say, oh, Mr. Tom Strokes, by right, I'm supposed to really give you a ticket, but your paperwork, you look like, say, well, you're a law-abiding citizen. Me just go warn you. But next time, don't make it happen. And you say, boy, officer, thank you. And him say, all right, go on now, safe ride. Because the $3,000 talk to him, or the $5,000 talk to him, I'm making change in mind. So I walk with the paper and I walk around the center crown and come back and say, all right, you get a chance this time and go on. Because him have lunch money for him and his squaddy, or money for make up for him money, if you go buy a him car, because him have to put one car up on the road. Got no policeman, a taxi, and bus and sit in the road, And me and what the salary for them is like. So, when done, sell piece of the land when mother dead left a country for him. And most of the land a country not a title. And bank, not even PC bank, I go take it unless them can be justified that yes, we can hold on the land and we're going to get back the money. But if him have raw cash, what can I tell you? I hope that the PAC committee will really seriously carry out their responsibility fearlessly and without nepotism and without any political agenda. The purpose of having the opposition chair a committee of government so that they don't have the government assess and account to itself. Somebody have to hold them to books, and that's fine. And when the power changes hands, it's the same thing. But we hope that if the power should change hands, it's not some of the same one them know who might be responsible for eating from the trough is now going to be on the other side to judge those people now who are there. It becomes a vicious cycle of dirtiness and nastiness. Because you're not going to get clean water coming out of this. You're not going to get any sense of responsibility coming out of this. How the nation is going to move forward. It's going to be in a cesspool of nothingness and corruption. We say to our children, what kind of children are we growing? What kind of nation are we building? One of the other things that we need to look at is how we're selling off our patrimony, how we're selling off and allowing foreigners, I'm not saying we must have foreigners and the foreign investment, but how we are allowing foreigners to come in and take the prime and most arable part of the land and the resources in a Jamaica and I give to them and they said go foreigner, then the Jamaicans become calmy dog along the fringes and look for over the other side of the fence are looking. But that's for another discussion. We're going to go to a break, and when we come back, we're going to talk sports. This is Tenny Live, coming to you from the studios of Flex FM here in South Florida. Stick and stay. Not going away. Soon come back. Morning, sir. You think they're going to lock me up? You think they're going to put on my price for my head? But me not say nothing, we know. Me say anything bad?
No, you know, so the light and the people know what I want. And then I want that. Same thing when you go through, you know. I remember me to do a thing for you did that. Yes. And Bruce get a shot on the floor.
Well, I know. Me I go call for the whole of them head, you know.
Yeah, man.
Me I call for the whole of them head, you know. There's a cesspool called the Football Federation.
Do you own land and need a title? Well, the National Land Agency NLA can help. Through the systematic land registration process, the NLA will assist residents to get titles in declared project areas across Jamaica. Systematic land registration is the methodical and orderly registration of parcels of land in a designated area known as systematic adjudication area. For further information on the systematic land registration process, including declared systematic adjudication areas, who can apply and the benefits, visit the National Land Agency's website at www.nla.gov.jm or email asknla@nla.gov.jm. The National Land Agency, one goal.
Are you living on or in possession of family land? Do you want to sell or subdivide the property? Use eLand Jamaica to search for details on the property. You can complete a title search and verify the owner before you sell the property. If your name does not appear on the title, register the land or clarify the existing title in your name before you sell. A title is a notice to the world of your ownership of land. For more information, contact the National Land Agency at 876-750-5263 or 876-946-5263. The National Land Agency, one goal, to serve you better. Are you confident that you are the legal owner of your property? Take action to secure your property ownership. Get a registered certificate of title and become the legal owner of your property. To register your property and obtain a certificate of title, you will need to provide a tax registration number (TRN), a valid government issued identification, a survey diagram, documentation to prove ownership, up-to-date property tax certificate, the names, addresses, and occupations of 2 neighbors over the age of 50 who are not family members and can give a declaration on your behalf. Proof that you have been in open, undisturbed, and undisputed possession of the property for 12 years or more. For further information on registering your property and obtaining a certificate of title, contact the National Land Agency at 876-750-5263 or 876-946-5263. Email asknla@nla.gov.jm or message us at WhatsApp at 876-418-5089. The National Land Agency. One agency, one goal to serve you better.
Do you own land and need a title? Well, the National Land Agency NLA can help. Through the systematic land registration process, the NLA will assist residents to get titles in declared project areas across Jamaica. Systematic land registration is the methodical and orderly registration of parcels of land in a designated area known as systematic adjudication area. For further information on the systematic land registration process, including declared systematic adjudication areas, who can apply and the benefits, visit the National Land Agency's website at www.
I am going to talk about it.
I'm gonna get ready, yeah?
That's why.
Welcome back. Welcome back. This is Tenny Miller. And I'm coming to you live from the studios of Flex FM here in South Florida. And today's agenda, we're looking at, what are going in at the yard and what are going in the yard while we're there abroad. Earlier, I spoke to some of the local issues, the whole business of the PAAC situation, because that situation is very, very much troubling. And it is something that must be given. It must not be left uninvestigated. It must be thoroughly investigated, and people must account for it. And if people must wear short pants, our heads must roll, then so be it. It's time we begin to set an example at the top. Because the people at the top continue to get away with even negligence. A slap on the wrist, or you just talk about it and it's 90 talk. We're setting bad things in the society and we give the policeman them much more work to do. Because it means that we're going to breed more criminals and more dishonesty. We're going to breed them not only in the society generally, but at other quarters of the country too. Both in the force and the other organizations. Because at the same time, we said that the doctors, they must not get no more money. Because them not deserve it and they must not get overtime pay. And that's an issue which is on the agenda now, arguing about it. And one man say, you give the politicians them more money because we complain so that they're going into the trough. And if we don't want them go to the trough, then they must get paid. I mean, I say, no wrong for them get paid, and if they get paid, good too. Because they have their family and they have them things to look after for them, not for them wife and daughter and children and son. Want wear good clothes too, and that's fine. And then they go inside, they go campaign and maybe take money out of them pocket, go campaign too. And that's okay. But after you decide, say, you're going to pay some people 5 million and some 15 and some 55 and some whatever it is, the million they might get. They must deserve the money. They must perform and account for the work what they're supposed to do. They must report to them constituents and they must go face the people in the constituency and answer questions. And when they have a 4-year, 5-year, or 6-year development plan, they must make sure so them ratify that plan with the community who vote for them. And the young people, them in most of those communities, need help and assistance, especially in the area of culture and sports, which is what we're going to be talking about now, because the sports development program have been growing and in a way that has been pleasing over the last couple of years. And the young people them take example from a Usain Bolt, a Shorty Malcolm, despite Shorty's shortcomings. Them take thing up Tigger Davis, the former captain of the team who now became a coach of the national team, until them figure said them should dispense with him services, only to realize that they might have come back to him. Mr. Tapper Whitmore. Because part of the problem of that is what manifested itself 2 days ago when an organization, a group, had set a club. Granted, they are our Black Brothers and from which where them come from, but notwithstanding, it's a group that in terms of the tier of ranking is far less than the Jamaican team. And we go to Mexico. I don't know if it's the altitude of Mexico affect them, that them can hear or them. But what happened is that our boys there went to Mexico and embarrassed themselves again. But is it their fault? What about the JFF? Is it their fault? We have in studio here with me this afternoon. Let me see if I can find his credentials and share it with you. Because this man is a man who has been involved with the sports program and the sports recovery program in Jamaica and out of Jamaica for a while now. Fine. This gentleman is a, what do you call it now? He's a former professional footballer, played with, what is the place in the country now? Eintracht Frankfurt, at least 90 in Germany, at just 19 years old. After moving to South Florida in 1992, he became deeply involved in youth football development, organizing tournaments, and working with the Miramar Soccer League. He also helps to build on some of the legacies of the various past coaches and organizations, both here in South Florida, like, for example, the Memorial Football Tournament is one of those things that he's responsible for. Most recently, like within the last month or so, he has returned to Jamaica and completed a grassroots football camp in the Tivoli Gardens community. And you know, a whole lot of youth in the Tivoli Gardens love sports and want to get involved in sports, but then because they seem to be behind the iron curtain, sometimes some of us treat them with contempt. I'm speaking of the outstanding Mikey Barnes, as I call him Mikey, and he's here with us this afternoon. Mikey, good afternoon and welcome to the show, sir.
Good afternoon, sir.
Good to see you. Now, Mikey, I'm not going to ask about your career and your sojourn because it is well documented, the kind of a work you do. I try a little thing, but you're the man who do the thing. Me come back and learn because me come at your foot, come learn, you know. Because me can only love the ball and shy after the ball, but you know. But Mikey, I've been watching the national team for a while. And they have gone through a metamorphosis of one sort or the other. And the national team is not just by itself, but then there's a body, the Jamaica Football Federation, that is responsible for the management, the organization, and for nurturing and training and facilitating the growth and development of the national squad. And they've been going all around the place. But after the last World Cup and one or two other skirmish, I call it skirmishal successes here and there, I'm not feel that the group, the team, the whole process is growing. Because if we can allow the Congo to beat the team in Mexico, and the Congo is always a 40-something down the list.
Oh, well, they rank higher than us, Jamaica team. And what happened with the Jamaica team is too much chop and change, no chemistry, and every minute them bring in a new set of people. So you find that
the cohesiveness is not there.
It's not there. Like the 98 World Cup is based off the 98 World Cup is based off the teams in local-based team,
Mhm.
and then they bring in 1 and 2 foreign-based players. This World Cup campaign, they went to foreign-based players before they went to local-based players. Well, we can understand that.
No, but hold on. Let my audience understand a little bit more what that means. We say they went to foreign-based team rather than a local team.
The gentleman who's the technical director, his name is Rudolph Speed.
Mm-hmm.
He's the one that hires
and fires. And you're talking about the players now.
Right. We're talking about players now. We're not talking about coaches yet.
Yeah.
And so he was the one who came up and said, the players, local players, they had a skirmish, what they call the patty shop story.
Mm-hmm.
Let me give you a little bit about the patty shop story. Patty shop story is what was about the local based players who is there. You know, they're not making that big money as the players abroad.
Yeah, okay. So because they play for big clubs and all sort of stuff.
A stipend from each game that they play.
Okay.
And it brought a rift between the local based players and not much the foreign based players, but the foreign based players, they didn't want the money. They said donate the money back to some of the players.
Okay. Because they are coming from a different level, a culture, a different kind of sports culture and training culture and exposure.
So they said donate the money to
the local players who are part of the same. Yeah, good.
And there was a story where Damian Lowe came out and with my crickets and gentleman Bruce Gaynor intervened and said to him, "Is this a patty shop story?" And Damian Lowe tell him, "No."
Mm-hmm.
The local based players, they want a bigger stipend, and I think they was asking for like $2,000 a game. They was only giving them $500 a game. So
Jamaican dollars you're talking about?
No,
US dollar. Okay.
So they wanted two. But when you compare it with other nations, nations was giving them more money because FIFA give them money to disperse
to the players them.
Right.
Yeah.
So what happened is the technical director of the committee, he came out and he said, listen, the foreign-based players, they don't need no money. They want to come play. So the local-based players, them say they want money. So that's where the difference between now you start seeing a lot of more foreign-based players coming in because they're not.
Because it is cheaper for them in the sense that they are able to save on that money. Exactly. So that money is not being passed to the local players. Right. So it'll go in our. So where does that money go? Who handles that money?
I don't know.
Because these guys want to come to play for Jamaica and to play for them country, and accepting when the glory comes now, them sharing at that amount of what comes there.
They're not looking for they're not coming for the money. The local players will be looking for something. Stipend.
Because it's work them there at their time.
They cut out the local players now and say the foreign-based players that comes not looking for the money. They will play for free. So that's where they start finding the change now. A revolution, a more foreign-based players.
This is real that you're talking about, or something that you dream of?
No, man, not true this, man. This is a fact. This is a fact. If you go on TV, Jay, you can't draw it up.
So this is part of the debacle that has been taking place for a while.
The last 3 years ago, something like that.
So where's Ricketts and what's role Ricketts, Gaynor, and all those people play? Because by the way, what is Gaynor's responsibility with the JFF? Do you know?
No, he's not a vice president anymore, but he's on the technical committee, where executive technical committee. No.
What does that mean? That sounds like just like a power group.
He's the one who will come in and give advice to what's going on.
So he's a paid member of JFF?
No, he's not a paid member.
Okay.
We'll tell you the people who get paid in JFF. The office workers, the GenSec is get paid by CONCACAF. Okay. The president get paid by CONCACAF. And everybody else is like...
So them get paid in US dollars, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yes, they get paid in US dollars. And what happened is the rest of people, like the vice president and thing, they will get something
from the local coffers here.
Right.
Mm.
So what happened them, it's like they're working for free, but that's why you find there's no accountability of whatever comes into the organization. There's no accountability. And so you find a lot of things that goes on that not supposed to go on. Like just like when you was talking about the Anki Panky, it's the same thing. No accountability of anything. And the only person that was trying to make a change when he came into office was the gentleman Dennis Strong.
Well, Dennis Strong is a certified accountant, and
they got rid of Dennis Strong
because he was asking questions and bring things to book.
What happened is FIFA came down and they brought a certain
auditor.
The auditor came in and he went back to FIFA and tell him what he sees and everything. So FIFA tell him to know that traveling arrangement and them usually have with the people whose high places of JFA bring them, traveling with the team, like them come to the favorite place is US. When they come to the US, because you can't, and bring them girlfriend or them wife, and then them can buy this, buy that, and things.
So when those officials travel with the team now, but why you have to have a whole host of people traveling with the team?
You're not supposed to. You're supposed to have one person in a delegation, and maybe the president. That's it.
Because I have seen at different times where a team comes to the US here,
right,
and a whole lot of people, like every dog and the mama was there.
You have more delegation
members than players.
And
all of them get a stipend when they travel and have to put up in a hotel and that sort of thing. Oh, so that's how the money leak.
Well, I can brief you on some of the money that comes in, but I cannot tell you how the money go or the money spent.
So when we're talking about developing quality players, how do they deal with that, and what is the program that they have in place to develop players? Because you can't always for the next 50 years depend on players that come from foreign.
What they do?
There was talk about an academy. There was talk about setting up all sorts of things. Then later, Borrell went as far as say, well, he find the land, if I'm not mistaken, and he ready. A part of UAE, but him find a facility, and he was ready now to. He was on the cusp of getting an academy going.
That is true. However, remember when we was doing the Olympic program in 2019?
That's right.
I did a program, let me let people know. I did a program for Jamaica, the first program where Olympic program, we wanted to qualify for the Olympics for the first time. So what we did, we went all over the United States and get the top college players involved. And we did a camp. You was there at the camp. And then we do a camp after that, and we went to New York and also do a
camp in New York. That's right.
We brought all the players from all the top universities, Jamaican players from all the top universities to come here to represent. So when we finish all of that now, we invited up the team, the Olympic team from Jamaica, to come to New York. The agreement was they were supposed to pay the airfare and the hotel for the team that's coming up from Jamaica. We had our own
expense to deal with those players from all over.
They back out on us, and we said no, we didn't want to back out. So we found some investors to put some money up to pay for the airfare for the team and the coaches to come. And we would find up here, we'd find medical staff and security
and that sort of
food
stuff
and everything. And then we got somebody from a gentleman named Kevin Street. He was going to invest and pay for the hotels. So we had people that donate the buses and the food
and that sort of thing, right?
So we had everything set up. And what happened was, after we have everything set up now, I got a phone call from Dalton Wind, who was the Jensen, and say, Mikey, the left hand don't know what the right hand wants. I'm saying you're doing a good program for Jamaica, but I have to call you and tell you I'm going to shut down the program. In the meantime, they were sending me emails saying that how much people are going in the stands, how much people the stadium can hold, how much me I charge for adult ticket, how much me I charge for kids ticket. All of that they might ask me, but they never send a dime and give me.
Question, because I was privy to some of what was the objective of the exercise that you were getting them involved in with all of these players? What was it at the bottom line? What you were
Bottom line is
hoping to achieve?
We wanted to qualify for the Olympics for the first time.
Mhm.
That was the goal.
So therefore, you were trying to get the right players them from all over so that you can select a team. Was that the idea?
We will invite everybody, the ones from Jamaica and the ones from the US,
And find the best of the lot.
and best of the lot.
Mhm. Took for that as this Olympic
The
team.
Olympic team. That was the goal.
So that never took place at all.
They never take place. So they shut it down, and then they played against some small nation team in Jamaica,
Mhm.
and then lose both games. They never qualified. Somebody from the small island qualified and went on, and Jamaica never go anywhere.
So I must sound like the Curacao match.
Yeah, well, I knew that they wasn't going to go anywhere. From the campaign start, I told them already. Because when you have friction in your organization and there's no commitment, and then you have one man, he might lead the delegation for himself and not the nation, and there's no chemistry.
So we have a problem with a star boy and the rest of the people that we claim say I'm a star.
Right.
Them not working together. There's no cohesiveness. There's no interaction.
That's why you find so many coaches come and go, chop and change. You know, we have Al Grimson, we have McLaren. All right, starting out, Kappa.
Mhm.
Then you have Al Grimson, you have Paul All, you have McLaren, and so much coaches will change already.
Since Tapa with more.
And then when they lost to Curacao in the stadium,
Yes.
as I know that it wasn't going to win.
Yeah.
The game that they should have won was the time when they played Trinidad.
Yeah.
They should have won that game and them draw the game.
Mhm.
So they get that point behind Curacao.
Mhm.
So Curacao end up with more points than them.
Yeah.
So
So
Curacao
they
end up
must.
with 12 points and them end up with 11. So they never make, but at least.
So they were supposed to win that match.
Right.
All right, we're talking to Mikey Barnes. Mikey Barnes is a former national player and a coach in his own right, and a coach who has been working with various community groups and schools and organizations here in South Florida. And Mikey also just recently came back from Jamaica, where he's pioneering a coaching program, starting with Tivoli Gardens, and will be going other places in Jamaica and hopefully across the Caribbean. We're here looking at just the football program as the construct, an element of the construct of the football program in Jamaica, and what are some of the possible reasons why we are where we are. We should be joined also by a young man from Montego Bay who is a young player and who has the nation's football program at heart. He's a part of I think it's Norwood Strikers, right? Well, a very serious player, and he has had some opinions about what's going on there. And in another minute or two, we should be joined by him. His name is Mr. Mason Samuels, and we're going to be talking to Mason. What I want, so with that kind of a background, Mikey, what happened day before yesterday in Mexico?
Well,
from your point of view, how you see it?
How I saw the game was a lot of pieces was left off the team.
What do you mean by pieces? Them not say them they have one of the best team ever?
No, that team wasn't the best team. They left off a couple of pieces. They left off Dixon, Whisper, the gentleman that plays for Bowser. Those three forwards off. One of them is real political, Whisper, because Craig Butler and Rudolph Speed doesn't get along. And he comes out, Speed came out and said, Whisper, when they played that game in Jamaica, the final, Whisper went out the night before. But yet still, he brought another player that went out with Whisper the same night. Yeah. So why didn't you leave Whisper off and carry that player? So
it's not a question of principle, it's a question of spite.
Well, if you want to say that, but because Craig Butler does not get along. So
just because it's a PNP, JLP thing with the two of them? It's a political thing.
Yes. One against each other. So that is, I don't think
tribal war.
I don't think we went there with our best team.
No, but if we are playing the team of our life, quote unquote, is an opportunity now for us to having lost two or three matches in a row.
Gel together.
Okay, you know, find a way to galvanize the best of what you have,
But remember,
irrespective of what. And as long as you're not compromising any major principle, galvanize the best of who you have,
remember,
because you have to go to the World Cup.
remember now, he brought 3 more new players. 3 more new players into the mix.
Fedor, for
That
play
don't-
this
that-
match.
To play that match.
For play this match, huh?
To play the 2 match them, the 2 last
Said
match.
you had the 2 big match, and you're gonna carry new player if you come.
Exactly.
So how long them gonna have time to synchronize with the team?
No, there's no chemistry. But they don't have any chemistry. If the man who watched let me tell you something. When a man knows team are going to win, the man who sweep the floor or watch the uniform, he knows him have confidence him team are going to qualify.
But there's a family of them that's supposed to have been living together and working together and eating and sleeping and cuss and quarreling with one another.
Yeah, chemistry.
To develop that kind of a unity of purpose and that chemistry.
There's
So
no
that,
chemistry.
because it's the World Cup we're talking about.
And it's only one game going to carry through the chest.
And that's the only one.
Why didn't you carry the man? Because one thing I can tell you, when Whisper comes on the field, he creates havoc
Yes.
because he is a midfielder.
He carries he carries an aura about him
Yes.
when he hits the field, and even the opposing teams are rather them carry on Whisper.
Exactly.
Is Mr. Mason online? I think Mr. Mason. We're still waiting to be joined by Mr. Mason from Outer Montego Bay. So there's no strategy, there's no psychology, there's no unity of that purpose with what's going on.
No, because you see, it's about one person. Ego. That person has to satisfy their ego. Because let me show you what's the ego. When we didn't qualify in Jamaica,
Mm-hmm.
the last Curacao game.
Yeah, the Curacao match. I was there.
I had a meeting
Yes.
at the JFF office,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they was going to bring a guy named Miguel Coley.
Mm. From where?
He's a Jamaican.
Mm-hmm.
He European license and everything, but he coaches in Saudi Arabia.
Mm.
But you know,
In Saudi Arabia.
Yeah, you know the war wants him come back.
Okay.
So anyway, they wanted Miguel Coley to be the head coach,
Mm.
and of course,
But him not know the people, him not know the team, him not know nobody.
No, he come back and forth.
Okay.
He knows what's going on.
Okay. All right.
But the title that the what do you call it now? What he has,
Mm-hmm.
he has a bigger license.
Okay.
Right. So he
Mhm.
has knowledge of what's going on. So
Mm-hmm.
what happens is now, Miguel Coley was supposed to be the head coach,
Mm-hmm.
and Mr. Rudolph Speed storms out of the office and say him now work with nobody. He might be the man.
We're having a discussion here about soccer. We're going to go to a break. When we come back, the discussion continue. I'm with Mikey Barnes, the former national player. Soon come back. This is Tenny Miller Live.
Do you own land and need a title? Well, the National Land Agency NLA can help. Through the systematic land registration process, the NLA will assist residents to get titles in declared project areas across Jamaica. Systematic land registration is the methodical and orderly registration of parcels of land in a designated area known as systematic adjudication area. For further information on the systematic land registration process, including declared systematic adjudication areas, who can apply and the benefits, visit the National Land Agency's website at www.nla.gov.jm or email asknla@nla.gov.jm. The National Land Agency, one goal.
Are you living on or in possession of family land? Do you want to sell or subdivide the property? Use eLand Jamaica to search for details on the property. You can complete a title search and verify the owner before you sell the property. If your name does not appear on the title, register the land or clarify the existing title in your name before you sell. A title is a notice to the world of your ownership of land. For more information, contact the National Land Agency at 876-750-5263 or 876-946-5263. The National Land Agency, one goal to serve you better. Are you confident that you are the legal owner of your property? Take action to secure your property ownership. Get a registered certificate of title and become the legal owner of your property. To register your property and obtain a certificate of title, you will need to provide a tax registration number (TRN), a valid government issued identification, a survey diagram, documentation to prove ownership, up-to-date property tax certificate, the names, addresses, and occupations of 2 neighbors over the age of 50 who are not family members and can give a declaration on your behalf. Proof that you have been in open, undisturbed, and undisputed possession of the property for 12 years or more. For further information on registering your property and obtaining a certificate of title, contact the National Land Agency at 876-750-5263 or 876-946-5263. Email asknla@nla.gov.jm or message us at WhatsApp at 876-418-5089. The National Land Agency. One agency, one goal to serve you better.
Yeah, so you can have them.
You use them.
Yeah.
Use that.
Just part of your arsenal to develop your arsenal of. Because if you have your crack shooter and you sharp shooter about this. Yeah.
Key is chemistry.
Mm-hmm.
There's no chemistry in the team. That's why we lose. You know, so we lose the ball so easy. The ball don't come in with truth. No chemistry. Me not know what you want. You know.
No, me say you don't want me play. You know, me style. You know, they're not the style.
So me go pass them and you bring 3 more man come and start there. Nobody don't know what that.
Coming back there, 5, 4.
There we go. Welcome back. Tenny Miller Live coming to you from the studios of Flex TV here in South Florida. We're talking sports. We're not talking blues, or we're talking about the blues of sports. And what kind of misfortune that came upon us. Fine. We're speaking with Mikey Barnes. Mikey Barnes, a former national player and a coach, and also somebody who is not a sports impresario, but is a sportsman who he has been doing quite a lot of training and at the community and the grassroots level. He just finished a grassroots program in Tivoli Gardens in Jamaica, and he's here with us as we're trying to unpack the situation surrounding the national team and what happened or didn't happen over the last 2 days. And we're now understanding that part of what never happened is that the team never know where they might go, if them was left, right, or center. Some people are fish, some people are foul, and somehow they might have been macabaca or sprat. So because them not come from the same shoal, them is not the same type of fish. So what can I tell you? Online with us, of course, also is Mr. Mason Samuels. Mason Samuels is a footballer coming out of Norwood. And the community of Norwood really, we have a lot of, I remember the late, great Marcus Garvey say, Jamaicans are like scattered jewels across the world.
We are.
You know, we are like scattered jewels. And because anywhere you go in a community, you can find some interesting players that you want to say, where them people they learn to play ball from. Mr. Samuels is online. And Mr. Samuels, good afternoon, sir. Morning, sir. How are you? We're not here. Yeah, we talk up loud, you know. Yes, sir. Hearing you a little bit now. And in studio with me is Mr. Mikey Barnes, a former national player and a sports coach. And he's here with us. You know, he just finished a program in Tivoli Gardens, the grassroots football program. We're just looking at what happened day before yesterday and trying to get a sense of what could have been part of the reason why we just never make it. Now, you saw the game? I saw. Hold a second for me. Hold a second for me. I'm not hearing you as well, and so you have to speak a little louder, and we have to turn up so I can hear you good. You're hearing me loud and clear? Okay, good. All right. Yes, tell us what is your take on what happened day before yesterday? Yes, man. Volume. Sorry, I said you said the midfielder was absent. You have to keep loud, keep talking loud. Uh-huh. You see that? And our players were just standing around. So, for all of those observations you have, what could have been the reason why we have so many missing pieces and elements, as you see? What could have been the overall problem why that happened, or reason why that seemed to be?
Isolated. So I remember a couple of plays where the left back had the ball and he had no support. Sometimes the winger has the ball, no support. Sometimes it's just we hit and hope. So sometimes even Leon in the second half had the ball and just swing and hope. So it looked like there was no organization or something was off because there was no decision maker. Like there's no if I have the ball, what the next person needs to do. It's just every man for himself in a way.
The gentleman in studio with me, Mr. Mikey Barnes, before you came on line, Mikey said there was no chemistry because the players, from the large sense, almost them never know one another. So I never know how you really play, and you don't know how I play, and we don't know how Mikey play. So we were just there playing our own game. So if we have 11 different matches going on, games going on the field, nobody not going to score because there was no unification and there was no coordination and collaboration for a final result. What would you have done different? Had you have that team to knowing the players that are there, what would you have done differently?
Based on understand they don't trade, they don't play together, So if they're good players, they can play, but it's like they don't know each other's game, they don't train up together. So I would say have more training sessions that every guy gets to know each other, have like some team activities that the players can get to know each other so they know each other play. I also work on some passing because sometimes I see the passing I'm not sure, especially in a fourth half, was atrocious.
Well, just disgraceful.
It was like he passed the ball and it touched this to the cover player. So more team chemistry exercises and working on passing and control and having that game plan.
Because there never seemed to have been a really serious game plan. Mikey,
yes,
this man has borne out everything that you said earlier, and you only never the plan for talk because they know him.
I just seen this gentleman for the first time, and I can analyze the game and tell you what went wrong. And like I said, they brought 3 new players in, and they got rid of 3 players that are crucial to the team: Whisper, Dixon, and Bowser. And It's a new team, and then you start the 3 players that was not there before. And this is the first time I'm going to play for Jamaica. And they keep doing this over and over and over.
And expect a different result.
Exactly.
So who are the people to be held responsible for this? Because you can't even blame the players.
No.
Because some of the good ones that are there are frustrated because they keep having new people to play with.
Pick who you want, select who you want. And like I said to you, something is going on between the coach and Whisper. And Whisper's Craig Butler. Whisper comes from Craig Butler camp. And Rudolph Speed and Craig Butler don't get along. But he plays barely, but he complains that Whisper went out the night before the game in Curacao. But yet still, the gentleman who went out with Whisper is on the team. So why never care Whisper? And then 2 players said they couldn't make it. So why never care Whisper and Dixon or Bowser in?
And care new players from somewhere else at a different cost too.
And then he picks 2 more new players that he never had before from the Premier League in Jamaica, and leave out those 3. As those players, they're energized. When those players come on the field, they energize the team. They lift the team to a different level. The team play flat, and after the goal score,
everybody
the coach never know what to do. And I talk to the team. A friend of mine called me and tell me, say, Mikey, if the coach says something, I could hear him because I sit up right behind him. And what happened? The coach was numb. The game is bigger than the coach. The coach is not ready. And the other coaches are the ones, especially when they take the water break, him just stand up by himself like this.
The coach?
Yes, like him. You see for the team. And he's the assistant coach him talk to the players. We're supposed to be the head coach. Gather the players them in and I talk to them and say, yo, you want to do this, that. That's how you're supposed to do it. And all he does is just like this. Come on, you're the leader of the ship. A coach supposed to be a psychologist, He's supposed to lift you to the next level, even when you don't reach that level. Come on, gentlemen, let's go. Let's do this. He's just done. You can't watch it over again, and you see him say something.
It is sad, though, This is very, very sad.
That's what I tell you. It's the ego.
It's very sad. And if we're going to have this kind of a personality differences, that is going to affect the quality of the national squad. And it is costing a lot of money because not that they was there, because them just get a drive right on a bus.
$10.5 billion we lose. $10.5 million we lose. And JFF doesn't have any money. Because right now, they have a loan that they took out, $500,000 US. I'm going to pay it back. No.
I wonder how many members of the Iraqi that went to watch this match as well.
I don't
because that might be another expense on the coffers of the organization. The whole of them have got a yard, man.
Well, I think what happened is I knew they wasn't going anywhere. Or the way they was behaving leading up to this.
You cannot blame the players. The players must get some. Yeah, you probably can chastise them, but if there is no coordination, there's no unity of purpose, if there's no psychological preparation, no way of getting them to unify themselves as a team to go after the common objective. And what the young man just said, Mr. Mason just said, there seemed to have been no strategy. And him and a coach.
Chemistry.
There was no chemistry. And as far as he's concerned, they never had a game plan.
No. Jamaica
it was never over. So if we,
the gentleman is on point. The gentleman is on point.
But where should we start to clean this house and to really fix it up? You want to do it? Get rid of some of the players that we have? Or retrain them? Or regroup them?
First of all, we have to start with the administration first. The administration, all right, we have a weak president.
But before you go there, sir, where you think we should put the blame, Mr. Mason?
So, because as fans, we only see what's happening on the pitch. We don't really see what's happening off the pitch, right? And in one of the interviews Leon Bailey had, he said, if Jamaica don't make it to the World Cup, it's completely the FA's fault.
The who?
FA. So, FA. So, given that, it seems to me and the body language is off, the players knew they were going to lose before the whistle blow. Like if you see the body language, they knew they were going to lose before the final whistle.
So they was just going through the motion.
Yes, because I see Leon as a direct winner, right? For example, I'll give you an example. I see Leon as a direct winner. And in the second half, and he's all wide on his preferred positions. And every time he gets the ball, he takes 2 steps and then send a long pass to God knows where. The Leon I know is someone that takes the ball and then charges towards the goal, in a pass or send a final pass or take a shot. In the second half, every time he gets the ball, he just wasting it. Passing it to no one, sending it to someone else, maybe somebody else's responsibility. Nobody wants to have the responsibility. Everybody wants to be responsible for somebody else.
So there's no game plan.
Exactly.
No game plan. I didn't see it.
There's absolutely no game plan. So that is coming from training and coaching, management of the team and coaching.
And this man is a gentleman who just got his coaching license about 3 years ago. And the coaching license that he got is one from Trinidad. And then they had a CONCACAF license thing that they did in Jamaica about 2 or 3 months ago. And that license to me and to the other body of places that gives license. This CONCACAF license is a new thing that came in. Most people get a European license, a US license. Those are the two they get. And what's happening is the 2 licenses that we get in Jamaica, it can't go to the airport because if they come to US for a job, they can't get it.
That means
not even high school.
That means that them can't go pass the examination. They probably get to drive a car.
That's what I'm trying to show you. So, but you know, their license. So
yeah.
Give the respect. But the gentleman who supposed to have the top license, who's the head coach, it shows you that he's not ready because he freezes under pressure. Just like Mike Tyson said, everybody get to the in the ring until you get the first punch, and they realize,
say, wait, I'm really in that. This is a life and death situation.
Yes, and you freeze.
Yeah.
So
my conversation is with Mikey Barnes, former national player, and with Mr. Mason Samuels out of Norwood, Jamaica, from Norwood Strikers. We're looking at the game that went by with Congo and Jamaica, and the non-plan of the game and the kind of a joke that took place. It was like them both playing with the chemistry set, as I like to say.
But one thing though I can tell you now, Rudolph does this thing. He always like to play for a draw and then go penalty. That's what he does. I went out to Jamaica.
That's the coach.
Yeah, the coach. I watched Mount Pleasant play Cavaliers in the finals last year. And I spoke to Tapa. I said, Tapa, you have to score to win the game. You cannot draw to win the game. And the game was draw. And that's all Rudolph Speed Cavaliers team beat Mount Pleasant by penalty kicks. So when you watch the game and see what they're playing, and they wasn't trying to score any goal or anything, they was just covering up, like your backs are covering up. Immediately comes to mind that he's looking to play for a draw. So when this goal score and it knock him off the field, he was like this. And it's like when the camera comes on him, it's like him in a shot. Because he never even talked to the players. As I said, when you look at the water break and everything, is the assistants are talking to the players, not the coach, not the head coach. So we realize now he's not ready for that task.
He doesn't have the capacity to handle things. He can't deal with a crisis moment.
No, the pressure was enormous.
The program is Tenny Live. We're talking sports. We're talking the blues of sports and what happened to the national team. So they already decided in their minds long before they even came to the game that they were not going to go to the World Cup. So there was no energy, there was no psych, and then there was no motivation, it would seem. for them to really aim to. The excitement of going to World Cup is something that seems to they just.
It's supposed to energize you. You go into the next level.
This is your final moment.
Yes. So you have to energize yourself. Because remember now, when you start a playoffs, it's a different level from regular season. You know? So you have to know now, when I'm in Germany playing and we make it to the playoff, it's a different level.
Yes.
Step up. But one thing the gentleman said about Leon Bailey with chemistry and practices. With national team, it's different from your club team. Club team, you practice together every day. National team, you only meet on a circumstance. So that's why you want to keep them together.
Yes. But you have to get them to gel together first. Before.
When you have a nucleus of 10, 12 players that is always playing and around, you build a chemistry.
And they absolutely know how each one play.
What these guys don't know, the team do, every 2 weeks, every time we meet, is a 3 new player. Get rid of them players, get 3 more. Get this. So there's no chemistry. Just like the gentleman said.
So you're not building a team. You just have a set of people who are playing time they meet.
Exactly. And every day you bring a new player come, nobody don't know him. Nobody does see him play.
And before you get to know him, you're gone and then bring somebody else.
But remember now, every team need an energizer person on your team.
Yes.
Every team need an energizer person. And Whisper is one. The other young gentleman named Carl and Bowser is one. They're all energizer player. They make when they come on, they make a difference.
Mr. Mason, I really appreciate your presence and you sharing with us here today. But before you leave us, tell me, what would you recommend to JFF? If you had to speak to JFF, what would you recommend, having seen that, and then you know the national team and you have seen them play sometimes before and doing something, and you understand them recent history of either failures and trials that they have been going through? What would you recommend? What kind of recommendation you'd have for the national squad?
From a fan's perspective, and I want to see from outside. First thing I would say is politics aside, because when you look at it, you have to say politics is involved somehow because you don't know how we're in this situation.
And when you say politics, you're talking about partisan politics or football politics?
Football politics.
Right. Okay, go ahead.
Because why Bosa wasn't there, why Whisper wasn't there, there's so many things that go behind the scenes that we don't know as fans. I think if we had a better admin, that would help us as well. And it's not a skill issue. Jamaica not going to the World Cup was not a skill issue. It's an FA or admin issue or a training regimen issue.
So the politics was obviously too heavy. And the management process. Sorry, say that again.
The politics was heavy from before.
And the management of the process is bad.
Yes, but mostly at the head. But I do believe that a lot of people in the middle are doing their best, but you can tell this is an issue at the very top.
Very top. Mr. Samuels, I really appreciate your comments and your participation today. Thank you so much. We'll talk again.
No problem. Take care.
Thank you so much. Good. Mr. Barnes, give me your final thought and your thinking on this, because this is embarrassing, to say the least.
Well, put it this way, we have to throw the whole out now. I sat down and I think about solving the problem of moving forward. Like I said to you earlier, I would have moving on. I will concentrate on the U17 boys and the U20 boys, because it seems like they're a good crop of players. You need a good crop of players to come through. So what I would have done was I would have get rid of some of the older players.
You want to retire some of those who are there?
Older players and keep some. So I would keep about the goalkeeper, Blake, and about 8 or 9 other players. And all the older ones who's close to 28, 30, or 27, I get rid of them.
You retire them.
Yes, and I brought a new crop in.
Mm-hmm.
What I'll also do, we try to, because you know you're going to have people come and go
Mm-hmm.
in that 4-year span.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'll do is, I'll make sure we have a lot of people, Jamaicans in the US,
Mm-hmm.
Canada, and England. So what I would do now is concentrate on the young players, because what they
Young
did-
players in those countries. Yes.
Because what they did is they're gonna look for some old man.
Mm-hmm.
So we're at 25, 27. Because when you reach 20, or 21, but they reach 24, you're an old man in
Mhm.
football. Because they look for 17-year-olds now, 16,
Mhm.
17.
Mm-hmm.
So what I'll do is when all those other countries go to their World Cup, or say England make it to the U17 World Cup or
Mhm.
on U20 World Cup, what I'll do, I'll watch and see who's Jamaicans that's playing on that team at that time.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And what I'll do, I'll go to them and invite them to come to Jamaica.
And if you
and
can get
start
them to
start them from them young. So that means that when them reach 20, 21 to play for the Canadian or the English national team or the American national team, I already have them and I kept them.
Mm-hmm.
Let them come play a game for the national team, some practice match or something. Then I kept them. So that
Mhm.
means that when them reach and be somebody now, I have them.
So you have your arsenal building up,
Yes.
and you start early. So by the time you're ready to go to a World Cup,
4 years,
4 years,
I will be
by,
ready.
by the time you reach 3 years, you would have already had at least 2 teams ready
Exactly.
to be able
Two
to
teams.
2 teams ready. We're talking to Mikey Barnes, and we just finished to talk to Mason Samuel from out of Norwood, Jamaica. Mikey Barnes, a former national player and a man who's currently dealing with a grassroots program to develop the young minds and the young skills and the young talent and the young legs and arms so that we can have a national team going forward. Listen, this is Tenny Live. We're coming to you from the studios of Flex FM and Flex TV here in South Florida. We talk about the PAC report and the atrocities and some of the things that are taking place there and what's going on with the University of the West Indies, which is very unfortunate. And we hope that there's going to be enough investigation and those who are responsible really feel the brunt of what is to come so that we can set a better example and look how we change the die and change the perception of both government management and finances and how the country's business is really handled and managed going forward. Not a matter of PNT by JP, it's a matter of proper management and organization and people dealing with it in a serious way. Thank you to Mikey Barnes. Thank you to Jamie. Thank you, Mr. TC. Thank you to Thomas. Thank you to Mr. Jordan. Thank you to Mr. Barnes and Mr. Samuels, Miss Tricia, all the various persons whose shoulder I stand on to bring this program to you today. Until I join you again next week, this is Tenny Miller saying, no, you sleep the sleep of the just, free from all your cares and sorrows. And as your night turns to day, as indeed it must, may you wake to a brighter tomorrow. Walk good.
And need a title? Well, the National Land Agency NLA can help. Through the systematic land registration process, the NLA will assist residents to get titles in declared project areas across Jamaica. Systematic land registration is the methodical and orderly registration of parcels of land in a designated area known as systematic adjudication area. For further information on the systematic land registration process, including declared systematic adjudication areas, who can apply and the benefits, visit the National Land Agency's website at www.nla.gov.jm or email asknla@nla.gov.jm. The National Land Agency, one goal.
Are you living on or in possession of family land? Do you want to sell or subdivide the property? Use eLand Jamaica to search for details on the property. You can complete a title search and verify the owner before you sell the property. If your name does not appear on the title, register the land or clarify the existing title in your name before you sell. A title is a notice to the world of your ownership of land. For more information, contact the National Land Agency at 876-750-5263 or 876-946-5263. The National Land Agency, one goal to serve you better.